That's really not working how you think it's working.
There's no audio.
No. See, it worked like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, it's because I didn't switch. I didn't sort it out. Here we go. I'll do it now. It's because there's that annoying little thing there. Right, okay.
And he's just literally told me to fuck off. Hi everyone. This is a broadcast message for a warning for L1 Phone Clinic. He's a scamming fat fucking bastard. Partner got his phone fixed about 6 months ago. Well, about 2 weeks ago, sorry. I'm fucking fuming. I just tried to go and get the money back because it was a faulty screen. And he's just literally told me to fuck off. He said I was a fat, smelly cunt. I want this man to be no more and get his business shut down. Because no one speaks to me like that.
You are about to listen to Only Fools and Collecting, a podcast for those who like a good moan about figure collecting and don't mind naughty words.
Hello.
Good evening.
I hope you enjoyed Pete's little video.
So I messed it up a bit, but
I think we got the basic gist of it.
Yep.
To be fair, a bit of clever editing, mate. Bit of clever editing.
Yeah, cool.
See, so look at that. So much proper English.
That was a video that Zach and Dean were watching on After Dark, and I just loved it. I thought it was so funny, and the fat fucking cunt, fat smelly cunt. I just thought of you, Ian, with the and I thought no, that is you. Just your love for that word.
I like the way the first, you hear fat smelly cunt, and the first thing you think of is me.
Oh, Ian. So I thought we're all normally quite mean to Zach, but he wanted us to feature this on the show, so I thought we'd make a thing of it. And apparently, Steve, you live just around the corner from this L1 Phone Clinics.
Yeah, it's just down the road. Well, it's over the water on the other side of the room, but yeah, it's just in Liverpool city centre.
Brilliant. So we thought once the whole lockdown stuff's over, we'll get Steve to have his picture taken outside.
Well, I'll go and do it in the background.
And see if anyone tells him to fuck off.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but he might be shut down by then.
I
suppose so. Yeah.
His wish.
Yeah. He's
if it gets
this man
his
will
wish.
be no more. Yep.
That was the best line for me.
Yeah.
The man will be no more.
Yeah. I want this man to be no more.
I didn't realise Roger Moore was in the video, Pete.
Oh, okay.
That was a really good.
Was it really?
That was such a bad accent. It was
Not classed as a scouser at all.
No. I'm definitely not the right person to be doing that.
No chance. Well, we thought we'd start this one a little bit more, a little bit out of the ordinary, shall we say?
Yeah.
So, but business will go on, and we'd like to thank Mr. Watto for sponsoring us yet again. 6-scale head sculpts, Black Series head sculpts, anything you can dream your tiny little mind, he will sort you out. Excellent stuff. He does some really, really good sculpts. So if there's stuff there that you don't see, that you really want, drop him a message and he can do it for you. He really is the man that can.
He can also do your parts for your old Kenner Hasbro figures. I guess all the weapons and stuff, the things that normally go missing from the old figures. So yeah, he's top man. Apparently, he might be started printing train parts now.
Oh wow!
According to what? No, I don't know. The collecting rarities was about model trains and stuff, and apparently there's 3D printing's kind of taking off really big time in there. So they were all saying, "Oh, Watto, another kind of branch to your armory. So it's but again, he's the man, and he'll turn his hand to anything he can.
Yeah.
So we thank you for that.
He sent me some files to print. So I've got the Ralph McQuillan Vader sculpt that he sent me over to print.
Yeah.
So I'm going to print and paint up for him and all the boxes and that. So I'm proper looking forward to that. Like really looking forward to it. I was like, why did my printer have to fuck up now? Like why? Like, this is so cool. So
you've been having some serious withdrawal symptoms, haven't you, since that's gone down?
I hated every minute of it not being about because there's all these cool files that have popped up that I can't print. But I should. We'll find out about that in a minute. But yeah, I should be back. So let's jump into
new this fortnight.
Hey, look at that. We're getting all professional now.
Smooth.
Yeah. So go on, Pete. Regale us with what you've got this week.
Well,
you bought an actual DeLorean this week, or
it's very. Although weirdly, there was a documentary on John DeLorean last night. I haven't watched all of it, but apparently he was the right dodgy geezer.
He was.
He got banged up for drug trafficking or something.
Really? No way.
It's like a video of like the FBI did a bust on him, and I need to watch the end of it. But yeah, he was quite a.
I have to watch that.
Yeah,
where can you catch that?
It was on BBC last night, so
okay.
On the iPlayer. It's like an hour and 40 minutes, but it's pretty good. But it's funny because you look at when you see the DeLorean without all the stuff on it, it looks odd. It looks bad, but it doesn't look right because you're just so used to seeing it with. But they do again towards the end. I imagine they'll do a bit about Back to the Future because they show it at the beginning. And
of course.
they're kind of going through the history. So I think there'll be a bit at the end there. But no, so I mean, obviously, I showed the DeLorean last show, and I finally got around to unboxing Marty and setting him up with the car. And I just really like this shot because they've kind of got like millions of lights going on. You got the lights in the cabinets from behind. I've got the DeLorean and the 89 Batmobile wired up to the mains. And then underneath is the X-wing with the lights around there. So I just kind of like the aesthetics of that. So that's like it really. It's not new this fortnight, but I hadn't unboxed him for a while, and so I got him out. But it's a great figure. I'm not sure why I never owned that one in the first place, to be honest.
It's brilliant.
I've had it since it came out. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's a rare figure that nothing really breaks on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's lasted all this time, and mine's still as good as when I first got it. There's nothing wrong with it.
There's no dodgy pleather or anything that's going to rot away.
When I first got it, I looked at the little badges he's got, like the guitar and all of that, and I thought they're not going to stay on. They're going to come off at some point. The buttons are going to come off, or because there's a lot of sticky buttons on there.
Yeah,
nothing. It's all stayed on. Nothing's broken. And it's not like it's just sat in a museum pose because it's Marty. You've got to pose him up.
Yeah. So I think they did a good one there. I think maybe the standards have slipped a little bit since then with the buttons and bits and pieces. But yeah, he's really good, and
it's worth investing in. I can't tell if you've got them on there or not, but you can get the sticker kits for it. So it has all that.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. That's. I mean, you can't see from it.
Yeah, you can just about make out the Nike swoosh on the inside of the trains. So I've done those, and I have got the wheel decals for the DeLorean, but I've not got around to doing those yet.
Did you get the ones I sent you?
No, I didn't. I just got the bad mother ones. Because you're going to get the ones that are like a rub off, like you used to have when you were kids.
I used to have the bad mother ones, and after a while they curled and came off.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I was looking at this other guy who does like the etching, so that you actually they're like transfer. Like the ones as a kid, you used to scratch them and they transfer over.
Yeah.
But the guy also does like the little clips for the wiring, like the little cable ties and stuff like that. So I was looking at his page thinking I'll try and get hold of some, because the actual Hot Toys DeLorean is missing quite a lot of wiring.
It is, yeah.
So what I wanted to do this year was get a load of wiring, put it all on, so it actually was a bit more realistic to the film.
Yeah.
Because obviously you've got all the containment on it, but there's no wiring on it.
No.
All that silver containment around it needs the wiring put in. So it was going to be one of my little projects.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously I've seen people light that up. put LED strips in behind the mesh bits. So it's interesting. I have to have a look, see what's missing on it. But yeah, it's interesting that. But all the Marty ones have stayed on okay. Have they? It's just the ones on the wheels.
Yeah, no, they've been absolutely fine. It was just the ones on the wheels.
I wonder if we coated them with anything, would like just a thin layer of sealer or something would make any difference.
Yeah, potentially. You'd have to make sure you got a mat. Though, because the white, I mean, this stuff that etches on, that fucker's never going to come off.
No.
And they're only 30 quid for a set, I think. The only problem with those is if you fuck them up, you fuck the wheels up.
Yeah. Because I was just thinking, like, remember when you used to have those as kids, and you'd miss one tiny little bit, and then you try and line it up and get it
yeah,
fill the gap, and you're like, oh man.
Yeah, you're like, for fuck's sake. Yeah, no. Yeah, I remember
obviously
that.
the transfers have their own issues because if they fold over, you're not getting those fuckers open again.
Do you know the hardest transfer I've ever had to do was on that Django Fett helmet? That the whole line around the outside was all the transfer, and
they're so fragile, aren't they?
Well, it wasn't that. It's because it's a dome.
Yeah.
You're trying to put it on, and if you slightly fuck it up, it just goes like the line just shoots off.
Yeah.
So it took ages to fuck about with that.
Yeah. So I've not been brave enough to try the wheels yet, but they're tucked in under the bonnet at the moment, and I'll get to it at some point.
That'll be
because obviously it's not
lined up in a circle,
quite as easy, isn't it? Because the wheels don't come off particularly easy, do they?
So the little DMC bit in the middle,
that
pops off and there's a screw
underneath. Okay, I think you got
the
to
hardest
do it with
parts.
haven't you?
Yeah, I mean the hardest parts. Well, to be fair, when I put mine on, I did it just as they are with it on, and it wasn't that bad. But I think if it was going to be the transfer, they'd have they'd have to come off. Yeah, without fucking it up.
Yeah, definitely. Right. So then we'll go on to Steve. Steve's the man this fortnight.
I'm gonna be on for half an hour doing all this.
Yeah.
You know what? I've not even unboxed everything I've got to unbox either. But I'll start with the new cabinet really. So obviously, the past few times I've been talking about wanting to have the deep Billy bookcase.
Yep.
With the Morgan doors, which is the same ones you've got, Pete. And finally got all the pieces together. It took me ages to get the doors from the wait for IKEA to get them back in. I'd had the bookcase for a while, and then I just got fed up of not. Once I finally had it all, I kept looking at it and finally plucked up the courage to cut big holes in the wall. And it was not easy, but look, it was already an empty airing cupboard, so I had to move some wiring, some plumbing, and all that. It's quite a tight space. You can probably see in that picture, just the edge of my desk. I had to move all the desk out the way. I had to cut the carpet, rip the carpet up, because I only just had enough space to wrestle the bookcase in, and it was a very tight.
That didn't
fit.
have a door there. That was a wall, was it? And the door opened in on the other side, or
no, it was a door there, but it was one of them quite narrow concertina type of door things. So I ripped the door frame out, and then I got drywall saw and cut. I mean, made the aperture the right size for a Billy bookcase, but I didn't want to go too big because I didn't want to have a massive gap around it when I fitted it. So I literally had like about a centimeter all the way around just to get it in, and I was wrestling it the whole way and fighting pipes and all sorts. It's in.
What happens if the lights fail? Is it easy to get to it all?
Yes and no.
Sorry, I don't want to.
I know. And that was I actually put it in with the lights on just in case I knocked something and not realised, Yeah. Because I mean the lights are drilled in from the sides.
Yeah.
So
mine are as well. And those little clips have just sort of come out, and like some of mine are really tight. And you've only got to jog it, and they start, and you're like, oh man. So I can imagine.
All this behind me is literally the size of the wall. So, but when I first put it all in, there's a plug socket that I cut a hole out for because it was sit back flush, and that's where all my lights went in. And it was on a 4-gang extension lead. That extension lead broke, so I was like, "Fuck!" So to change it, I had to literally take all the doors off, unscrew them because they're all screwed together, to then pull them off to get to it. I thought, I'm never fucking doing this again. So I went online and ordered like a 20-foot long 4-gang extension lead. So now it plugs in behind the computer here. It's ran along the carpet and around the back, then slid down the side. Then I've drilled a big hole in the bottom of one side, and everything gets fed in through there now. Yeah. So I was like, no, I'm not fucking doing that again.
You learn.
Yeah, I kind of did a similar thing on this. I ended up moving the plug socket so I could plug it in, and then drill the hole through the wall so I could plug it in out on the outside rather than so it's behind my sofa where I plug it in. Yeah. So if it does fail, if something fails, if like the transformer fails, I can easily switch that out. It'd only be if the actual LEDs fail, I'll be knackered.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can probably see from there, because it's the extra deep billy, I can get a shed load of figures in there.
It's really good. Yeah.
I've got my Marvel on the top. I've got all my Arnie and Stallone figures, the next one down. I do need to get some risers for the figures at the back. Then I've got all my oddball stuff. So some of it I'll talk through in a minute. And then my Star Wars is on the bottom.
Do what I did for risers. Just get a block of 2x4.
Yeah.
And then put some felt over it. And it
It's
works
a
really well.
actually. Yeah,
Probably
if you're worried about weight,
isn't it?
because I know some people get a bit fucking funny about weight because they buy like £20 fucking detolfs. You can do this exactly the same thing with foam board, but I just got some rough cut, cut it into the size because that's the width of a detolf. But it helps with these because you got that lip. Sometimes I'll put stuff on the riser so it raises it up so you can see it through the glass properly.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing the old block of woods trick and just spraying it white or whatever. So once this all went in, and obviously I had a lot more room, and I'd been sitting on a load of figures that I'd been collecting, as you know, I've been hoarding figures and ordering figures and stuff. So I opened these 5, which you can see now. So I opened the mask, which was from Dark Toys, which is way better than the Asmus one. I had both, and the Asmus one is just nowhere near as good. No. So that was an easy choice. So sold the Asmus straight away and kept this one. I've been collecting loads of 80s figures, and I'm collecting more as I go. 80s and 90s is the theme of this shelf, really. So I put myself together a Martin Riggs, which is there. I'm not happy with the white shirt. I'm going to get a better one, but
what's the sculpt from?
I bought the Redman set.
Okay.
They did 2 versions: the Lethal Weapon 1, Lethal Weapon 2. Lethal Weapon 2 one's where he's got the blue baseball jacket on.
Yeah.
This one was Lethal Weapon 1, but I didn't like the shirt and the undershirt and all that it comes with. So I ordered myself a red shirt and a white t-shirt for him to wear, because that's the most. If you watch all the films, I've just literally watched all 4 again. Most of the time he's got a red shirt on, so I thought that's the most iconic look for him. Then so I went with that. So I'm just trying to source all the parts for Roger now. You can get a sculpt off eBay, and it's just a suit really. That's all he ever wears, so that's a pretty straightforward one.
Yeah, cool.
So, and then eventually I'm going to have them 2. I've got an actual Foley sculpt on the way, and then if you've seen that guy does an amazing Eddie Murphy sculpt.
Yes.
So So I got just ordered that. That's on the way, and I'm going to have to try and get all the outfit for that, and then I'll obviously have Die Hard, and I just want to have all like the really classic 80s action figures all on one shelf, probably on a different shelf altogether, but that's where I'm going with that. Then obviously got Picard, had him a while. Actually got him on sale from America for £100 a while ago.
Oh, nice.
Which was a bargain, because he's going for 150 plus now, so he's kind of going up in value a little bit. But
have you seen the
nice figure?
You seen the new Data?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
It looks really, really good. It's just a shame it's the film uniform, because that would have paired really. It's the First Contact uniform, I think, it's the grey one.
That's right.
Yeah, I was like,
I know they should have done his yellow outfit, shouldn't they? But really,
I mean, but I want a Picard.
Yeah, I think it's still. I think it has still bolstered the Picard sales, even though it's not the direct match for the uniform. I think it has helped it go back up again.
Well, Nanjin's working for a new company now that's doing that, aren't they? It's not QMX putting that one out.
No, it's kind of his own thing. So, because I mean, QMX, I've talked about it for they really fucked up that Star Trek line. Yeah, it's a real shame. But yeah, hopefully hopefully, I mean, I don't think I'm going to stick my toe in those waters anymore, but hopefully, I hope that it's successful and that, that it does well, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I'd be interested to see what else they put out from, especially next gen, like Wharf and Biker, and there's loads you could do.
Mm-hmm. I'll have a set easy.
Yeah, and then the next one along's Bruce Lee. So that's actually put together from parts that I bought ages ago. It was actually my figure a while ago. Then I sold it to my mate Sean, who's probably listening. Hi Sean, on the recording. Then he decided to go and collect 112, so he sold it back to me. And now, because I regretted selling him in the first place, I messaged him and said, if you ever want to sell it, let me know. And he said, as it happens. I said, I'll have it back then. So the only thing I haven't got for it is the Bruce Lee hands, which I'm going to try and get a set of. But the parts are quite nice, actually.
I could have sworn I saw a set on the groups the other day.
Oh, I'll have to go and have a look then.
I think there is. It's somebody selling a bulk load of stuff that they want. It's about $200. There's all other bits in there. There's a body, there's a figure, but it has got a set of Bruce Lee hands in it. You're right, Ian. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I might try.
You might be able to persuade them to part it out. Maybe. Is there anything special about them, or just the way they're posed?
It's just the way they're posed. Yeah. He strikes some weird poses with his hands. So. Yeah.
So is that a Game of Death? Is
Game of Death? Yeah. It's not actually my favorite movie, but I think it's the most iconic look.
Well, yeah, and obviously with the Kill Bill kind of, took that look as well. So it's kind of become, I think, more iconic as well.
Yes.
Either that or the Enter the Dragon with all the scratches and cuts and stuff.
The Enter the Dragon one is an iconic look as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've actually got 4 yellow figures now. I've got the mask.
Yeah, it's funny that
the 2 Arnie ones. Yeah,
Running Man and Total Recall.
That's it.
Lady one. Yeah.
And then my last 2 actually is I've had the Mandalorian for a little while. Got him at Christmas, and I just got that little £7 Grogu you can see at the bottom there, which needs a repaint desperately. But I just stuck him on there for now, just till I get around to painting it. But or sending it to Ian, one of the two. Probably end up sending it to Ian. I thought that's a fantastic figure. I know everyone raves about it, but when you get it in hand, it is fantastic. I've got the Beskar one coming. I can't see me keeping the Beskar one. I think I'll end up keeping this one.
I was on eBay today, and some fucker he parted out all the accessories. The little Grogu was on bids, and it had like 2 days to go. It already reached 90 quid.
Whoa, Jesus Christ!
Yeah. The Camtono was on like 60 quid.
Whoa!
It's just like, for fuck's sake! Like,
I might part it out.
It's a gold mine. That is.
Wow!
It's mad. I was like, you having a laugh? I don't understand it. I do not get it. It's still up for pre-order on Sideshow. You can get it for 250, 300 quid, and then you got fuckers selling it for 400, 500 odd quid, and I'm like,
yeah,
but you can still get it, and it's going to come out in like a couple of weeks. Like, I don't.
And there's going to be a Series 2 any minute now as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's severe impatience, I think, on one hand, and also, I think there's a lot of people that will quite happily buy out parted bits from figures, but they never have the notion that actually it would be better to buy the whole thing and sell off what you don't want. And probably you'd end up getting the bits you want for free. Really, that's I've done that for years. But they don't have that. They don't have that concept that they could do the same thing. No. I always find that really weird,
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what I've opened so far. Anyway, I've got.
So what else have you got to open?
I've got the knockoff Stanley to open. I've got the Hot Toys John Wick to open. Nice. I've got all the parts to put together a pumping guy in Arnie.
Oh
yeah, all that, and then I've got something else as well. I can't.
For that one?
I've got it's the T1. What's the name called? Yeah, Tech Noir.
Yeah, with the sort of centre parted. Yeah, that would work well.
Yeah. So I was going to get that, that Conan with the rooted hair that was on 1.6 kit a while ago. I was going to get that and cut the hair down because he has got his hair's a little bit longer in the Pumping Iron video.
Yeah.
So I might still do that, but
that's such a funny film. Pumping Iron's cracks.
Yeah,
so
it's funny. He's just a legend, isn't he?
He is, and he's a bit of an arse as well. He's really nasty to Lou Ferrigno, isn't he? And
he's a wind-up merchant, isn't he?
He is. But it's a really good watch. It makes me laugh.
Definitely. So yes, I've got those, and then I know I've got pre-orders inbound as well. I always have pre-orders inbound. So God, I can't remember what the hell I've got coming. I know the Mark 85 I'm meant to be getting, but that will probably get. I'll probably be turning that round straight out the door again because it's you seen how tall it is compared to other figures. It's about 7. It's about he must be about 7 foot if he was if he was actually in real life. So it just looks stupid.
And what do you think of the head sculpt that it's going to come with?
The first version head sculpt, I don't like it. I think it looks. It's not right. You know, the previous one on the Mark 50, is it? It was far better.
Which is the one they're going to swap it out with, though.
But even if they did, it's just too big. Especially if I've seen it next to the Mark III, and it looks stupid in comparison. That's me for this. More than the last fortnight, but that's what everything I've done in the last fortnight.
So I was trying to behave myself, and it hasn't really worked. I watched Zach's video on his lighting his Detox, and I thought, do you know what? I need some strip lighting, and I followed the link, but I went to the UK Amazon and got a set. I think they were 6 meter strips, and 6 meters does all the way around one set of 3, and lights up the shelf underneath. So I keep all my crap in a little half Bester thing underneath. It's always a pain in the arse. I can never see in there because it's always too dark. So the strip lights actually run underneath inside there as well, so they're all lit up as well. And it also lights up my Falcon and stuff like that. So thanks, Zach. That wasn't a bad shout. So and they were only, I think, 15 quid each.
Yeah,
so you bought the same one I did.
Pretty cheap, aren't they?
Yeah, probably. So for 45 quid, it did all 3. I just stripped out all the old lighting and chucked them in, and then lined the insides of the doors with silver tape, so it reflects the light back into the case. So yeah, they're all set up, ready to go for Dean's doing us some backdrops. So they should turn up fairly soon. So I did that, and I've not really had anything figure wise. I've sold a load of stuff, and as we all know, my printer is fucked. So Creality. So my printer's 4 months. I bought it direct with Creality, and the print bed just goes up, does not go down. So I was printing a 4th scale Vader head for someone, and I was printing with black resin. Now black resin is a cunt, right? Is an absolute bastard to print with. Not because it's any more difficult than anything else. It's just that you can't see anything for such a long time. Now, obviously, the printers take quite some time to print stuff. So by the time it raises out enough for you to see if it's even failed, you probably wasted about 5 hours. So after 5 hours, the print head had raised. There was nothing on it, and I thought, oh, fuck's sake. So pulled it all out, and I had a perfect outline on my FEP, which is the sheet on the bottom of the printer of this head. And I was like, oh, fuck's sake. Tried it again, didn't work. Cleaned it all up. Went to loosen the screws at the top to re-level the bed, because I thought that might be it. And it wouldn't go down. It just kept going up and up till it made this crunching noise. I was like, oh, fuck. So I put a few posts out on a couple of Facebook groups going, does anyone had this before I reach out to Creality? A couple of people came back with check this sensor's dirty or whatever. So check that. Couldn't see anything wrong with it. Creality came back and went, if you just pop the cover off, if you get a multimeter and this little port here, we need you to take a reading from. And I was kind of just expecting them to go, send us the printer back, we look at it, send it back, because it was only 4 months. Like if it was over a year, fine, but no. So I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So I got a multimeter, opened it up. Every single wire is plugged into ports in the motherboard and then glued in place. So I was like, fuck's sake. So I tried to unpick the glue off of it, and it really wasn't fucking having any of it at all. And it felt like I was going to end up pulling it straight off the motherboard. I was like, do you know what? It's 4 months. Shouldn't have to fucking do this.
It's so wrong that they asked you to do that. Yeah.
So I emailed them back and said, look, here's a photo. It's all glued in. I can't get what you want. You know, and if I'm honest, I'm not a technician. I'm not really. This really isn't something I should do. And they came back and said, well, you know, we need the meter, we need the reading. Otherwise, we'll just send you out the part and it might not work. And I was like, even if you sent me out the part, I can't plug the cunt in. It's glued in. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. You caked it in glue. So I was moaning to Steve about it, and he was like, why don't you raise a claim? And I was like, well, it's been a while. He's like, well, you got 180 odd days. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. So I've chucked a claim in with them, and they've not responded yet. So I'll end up giving them I'll give them a week or so, and then I'll escalate it. So I was like, fuck. So I've got no printer. So I'd sold a load of stuff, and I really wanted a bigger printer head this time, and a mono printer, so it will print 3 times as fast. And I was looking around. Creality haven't released their new one yet. Plus, their customer service was dog shit. So I was like, I don't really want to do that. Looked around, and there wasn't that much out. And then I know it went on the Anycubic website, and their Mono X was about 500 quid. When I look on Amazon and that, it's about 8, and everywhere else I find it's about 600. So I was like, okay. Now I've learnt my lesson, though. I've learnt my lesson now because of this. Printer companies are lying bastards, right? Every single one of them will just list all their stock, and you assume it's in stock, and it really fucking isn't. So I bought this one. They hadn't shipped it. It's been about a week, and I was like, oh, fucking hell, what else could go wrong? Emailed them. They were like, oh, no, we don't have that in stock. It'll be in February. I was like, fuck's sake. So I was like, I can't go until February without a fucking printer. So I let that slide and just thought, okay, I'll sit on it, because ultimately I want that big printer, and I'm just hoping I don't cop any custom fees. I'm hoping they ship it from the UK warehouse, but I'm not that lucky. And then I was on eBay, and I just looked for printers, and there was this guy selling the same printer as my first broken one. Apparently he'd done 25 prints on it, and was like, right, I love printing. I'm getting a Mono X. I'm getting a bigger printer. And I was like, okay. And he had it listed for, I think, like 80, 90 odd quid. So with postage, it was like £100. And I was like, fuck it. I know I'd only really have to realistically wait a month for the bigger printer, but I can't.
It's a good price for that printer, though, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, brand new, they're about 150 odd now. So it was pretty good. And if it has only done 25 prints, it's probably done less prints than my printer. So I figured, so I picked that up, and that should turn up Monday. So I should be able to start printing again, because it's killing me that I can't print anything. And the thing is, sod's law, the moment my printer breaks, I get everyone messaging me going, how much to print and paint this? And I'm like, well, I can't. If you wait, I can, but I can't at the moment. So, yeah. And then I also, about 3 hours ago, ordered a Cody from Sideshow, because why the fuck not? I want a Cody. It was a toss-up between that and a Death Trooper. And as much as I want to jump down the rabbit hole into the Mandalorian line, Cody's just too cool. I watched a couple of reviews, and I used to have the Sideshow one, and I was like, yeah, fuck it. Gonna do that. So I should have that in 2 weeks' time. I'm hoping in 2 weeks' time I'm going to sit here on a throne made of 3D printers, holding a Cody, and possibly a Mando if that cunt ever turns up. So
I'm going to be special.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we all have to try and compete with your fucking haul now, Pete, of DeLoreans and fucking Batmobiles.
Yeah, you trying to get me to buy a land speeder the other
shit, yeah. I was like, there you go, another vehicle.
I'm rooting for these ones.
Nah.
I got that cockpit coming in a couple of months.
There's only one thing I can say to that.
What a cunt.
It's just not fair. How many vehicles does one man need? Unfair.
Just the 2.
Just the two. And the cockpit.
Falcon, yeah, I suppose that's part of a vehicle. Yeah, no, I am looking forward to that, and I've not been deterred by the stupid negative review that was posted online a little while back.
I watched that review, and I just thought,
What a cunt.
Because it was just, I'm going to overuse that button.
Yeah.
Way too much. Yeah, I watched that review, and all the way through, I was just like, what? Why are you comparing it to something that's not even fucking out?
Yeah, exactly. And I quite like this. Yeah, it was just someone ripping it apart, just saying it was.
Which one, the Falcon?
Yeah, the cockpit. Yeah,
I saw it posted, but I've not watched it.
Wasn't it up to Diabolical?
Yeah.
Yeah, his mate had bought one. He bought it round, and he proper was like up its arse with a camera, just ripping it to bit. Compare it now. Don't get me wrong. There were a few bits and pieces. Some of the paintwork wasn't amazing, but it's all hand painted. It's all done in batches. It's not like
3 people.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like you've got thousands of fucking people sitting in a room and it's going through a conveyor belt and people are just doing their. So I thought he was just overly harsh. Didn't need to be.
No.
Comparing it to Hot Toys, a promo piece that they would have fucking spent thousands upon thousands of hours and thousands upon thousands of pounds developing. It was just nonsense.
Yeah, and there's, as you say, there's some points, but actually, I was quite. I liked seeing that actually I'm going to see it as a project. So I know a lot of people don't feel like they can do this, but I am going to weather it. I'm going to probably add some more wires and cables and stuff like that, and make it like an individual piece. So
totally.
I quite like seeing that some of it was like a bit too pristine, and I've got some. I found this really cool. I don't know what someone posted a link on Sideshow Freaks, and it's like a fully like a full 3D rendition of the cockpit. That you can spin it round, you can zoom right in and everything. It shows you all the weathering on the controls and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just going to go to town on it really and just kind of beat it up. And I see that as a good challenge. But obviously, I get that some people aren't happy doing that and they want it to be. But as you say, it's not. It's not done by a massive company that's got all these resources. Yes, it's expensive, but that's because it's very limited in number, and it's and people were saying if Hot Toys bought it out, it would have been 3 times the price of
fucking and the rest
of Yoast anyway. So I think it looks great. I can't wait.
Glad I could finally catch OFAC live. You'd have to wait for the podcast. There
welcome.
Yeah, enjoy.
Yeah, right. Should we move?
I see a man with a spare 5 hours to listen to us ramble on for an evening. Yeah. So new releases.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to spoil you with the whole 2 that we thought was probably worth talking about. So we've got the Toy Era Green Goblin. Which was released, and it's £190 with the glider or £130 without, but they're both plus postage. Bargain.
Yeah,
fucking great. Bargain.
Yeah.
I'm regretting not getting it now.
No, some people are slagging it off, and I don't get it.
No.
190 quid with the glider, that's
and it's really good. It looks really good. I watched a video review, so that's where the still of the glider's from, and the guy was really, really impressed. And the 2 pictures of the Goblin I picked up off Facebook group. I think it was a UK, one of the guys in the UK groups that got it, and not perfect, but I think they were both really impressed. And for the price,
it's never going to be perfect for that money, is it?
Can't go wrong, but it looks really good.
Plus, you can get the Doc Ock as well, and obviously there needs to be a newer version of that Spidey, but that's if you had them together, it'd look fantastic.
I
mean, it's gone such a long time without any villains for that particular line. It's amazed me that it's taken this long.
The closest you got was a Sandman base, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I've seen a couple of dodgy Sandman customs. But other than that, I've not seen anything. So
It's
I was
like a knockoff Hulk covered in sand or something.
pretty much, yeah. Effectively, all they've done is got the biggest fuck off body you could find, stuck on a green and black stripy jumper, and a god awful head sculpt and a pair of khaki fucking trousers. I was like, it's not really.
I've seen
really
people do half decent ones of him in his normal human form, but I haven't seen anyone do the actual sand version. But,
to be fair, you go down the garden centre, you buy a pack of sand and you chuck it in your display case. There you go.
Yeah,
Done.
defeated Sandman.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's a good one, I think.
Yeah, I like that. And then there was this. So I couldn't find a price on this. This is the VTS Arthur Morgan. The head sculpt looks fucking abysmal.
Yeah,
really not impressed with the head sculpt. I'm liking the accessories. You know, you get a fish, which is unusual,
and the raccoon hat, very odd looking.
The rifles are good though. I think you get a decent amount with it. It's just the thing is, I'm so over this game. I don't care anymore. I think if this was released about the time they actually announced it, I'd probably be more interested.
Yeah,
but,
I know what you mean. I've got the Lim Toys one coming, and I don't think I'm going to keep it because I've just lost interest.
And that's the problem with video game figures, is that unless it's an absolute classic that I keep playing, I'm just not interested. It's like there's certain films as well, certain standalone films like Tenet. If they brought out Tenet figures, if I'd seen those probably 3-4 months ago, I'd probably be quite interested. But
yeah, I know what you mean.
It's one hit wonder kind of thing. I'm not interested anymore.
Yeah, the only game figures I've really got are all my Arkham ones, but you know they're like proper really nice iterations of those things. Anyway, I've got the Nathan Drake figure because I love the Uncharted games, but I'm not interested in getting this now, or the Lim Toys version of this anyway.
It's funny because I'm coming in a bit differently because I played the first Red Dead. I didn't play the second one, but I just want a really good cowboy figure. I don't care who it is, and I would have just used a different sculpt. I would have just binned off the head.
I mean, if I want a cowboy, I'll get Clint.
You would, yeah. Or even Kurt Russell from Tombstone or something like that.
Yeah. Because you say all the accessories and stuff look brilliant, like the guns and the rifles and stuff. All that, you know.
The base, I really like the base with the wooden flooring.
Yeah. And how does the Lim Toys compare to this, Steve? As far you've got
it's night and day. I mean, I've seen the closer pictures of this, especially the not the Arthur, what's he called? Yeah. First one.
You
get two sculpts. Yeah, John. Yeah,
the John Marston one.
The John sculpt is horrific.
Okay.
The Arthur one's all right, but you can tell the Lim Toys one's going to be way better. You do get more accessories with this, but Lim Toys did say they were going to up the game on the accessory front. So
when's that meant to come out?
After Chinese New Year.
Okay, well maybe I'll have a look at it, and then if you've got one coming in, maybe if I fancy it, I'll give you a shout.
Yeah,
so Ryan's chipped in with one we left off. Have you guys seen the third-party Joker that just came out? Yes, I know. I can't remember who makes it. I know the one you mean.
I didn't put that on.
It's awful. The one where all the promos are in the fucking dark.
Yes,
and then you
can tell from those promos it was going to be bad.
There was a certain retailer from way out where who literally took a photo of the box and went, invoices are out. And then after they sent the invoices out, they were like, here's the sculpt.
Put it in the comments. He didn't even put it as a separate post. It was in the comments of the box.
So, fuck, that thing's horrible. I mean,
it looks like Jim Carrey, doesn't it?
It looks like the Joker's got a severe wasting disorder. It's just awful. Like, it's fucking terrible. Like, bad. Like, there's not even the clothing on it is just there's nothing that can help that figure. Like, if you bought it, just throw it in the bin. Just save yourself.
You can guarantee they're going to do the DX20 is going to be another Heath Ledger Joker.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. So no point in buying third party ones anymore.
It's just funny. It just amazes me that these still keep coming out. It's
Yeah.
like
I know.
it's just conveyor belt of Jokers.
It's always Ledger. Then
Yeah.
They finally did a knockoff of Nicholson, but that's a knockoff of the Hot Toys. They didn't even do a new one.
No.
Yeah.
I know you guys love the character, but I don't see the why it's such a. I get that the DX ones are great and there's some brilliant customs, but why these third-party companies keep people buying them?
He's not my favorite. He's not my favorite Joker.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
I don't understand. I mean, if you look at the custom head sculpts as well, like fucking hell, what's Craig on point or C-Reg or however you want to pronounce it?
Yeah.
What's he on 20.1 now? Like, it's just like just leave it.
Got multiple versions, haven't they?
Just leave it. I thought with the Phoenix Joker, I thought we were going to start to see way more of those, but no, we seem to have a quick flash of a few people like releasing them, and then no, it's back to Ledger. But I don't know if there's more interest at the moment with new Ledger ones because of the reissue, or whatever you want to call it, of the DX12.
Could
but
be.
I don't get it.
It will be that. Oh, well, you know what we're going to get next though? We're going to get more. Lato is going to come because Lato's in the new. It is in the Snyder cut of Justice League. So he's going to be
one of them.
They've completely redone his look, so you can guarantee Hot Toys will be all over the figures.
It's funny because people couldn't get rid of those quick enough, could they? When they realised how shit it was.
People have got onto it now, you see, and they're starting to change hands again. And you just know when that comes out, people are going the Lato figures are going to be back in fashion, and people are going to want them for customs and all that.
Someone on the groups was selling one of the straitjacket ones. Now you were lucky if you got 120 quid for them, about a year ago. 180 quid he wanted for it, and I was like, you can fuck it, you can just suck my dick. No, not happening. Like fuck off. No.
Yeah, to guarantee you 2 more months, and we'll be talking about how expensive they're changing hands for.
Yeah. I'm literally the only reason I'm holding on to my Flash is I'm waiting for the Justice League, the Snyder Cut to drop, and then I'll move it on, because it's just everything's going to jump up. So
it'll be hype central, definitely.
Yeah. So that was it. The two we had, and we even got the third.
Yeah.
Terrible Joker.
Blasé about Joker.
Yeah. That blasé about it. But upcoming releases was a little bit more tasty. Yeah. So Hot Toys are releasing a Dark Trooper. So this is 100.
Skipped on. Sorry, boy. Sorry.
You skipped on, mate.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah.
That's how much Pete doesn't give a shit about this one. He's like, no, fuck it. So this is 195 plus tax and shipping off of Sideshow, due April to June. So with tax and shipping, you're probably looking at 250 or something like that. So I have pre-ordered this one because I really like it.
It's going to be massive.
It is going to be huge, but I'm really looking forward to it. The thing is, some of the comments I saw around it, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? There's people going, oh, it should come with... So honestly, I swear, I'm not making this up. Some twat said this should have come with a Beskar spear. I was like, why? Why? People wanted like crushed chest pieces to swap out and crushed heads, and I was like, they've literally had to re-engineer an entire new figure. So it's not like they've grabbed the fucking true type body that they've got 4 million of, and made a few cloth goods and stuck a new head on it. It's from the ground up. It's a completely new figure that really in the series didn't do enough to warrant a shitload of accessories. It had a rifle, it smashed the shit out of a door, it stomped around looking cool, and then got cut to bits by Luke Skywalker. Like it's I don't understand why people were getting fucked off with it. Like, to me, this is exactly what it should be, and I can't see a problem with it.
They need to be careful what they wish for, because we know what Hot Toys are like. Seven versions of this later, they'll still be pumping it out with different. There'll be a gold one, there'll be a floral one, there'll be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it probably will be in Series 3 and elsewhere in the new universe. So I don't think it's the last we've seen of it.
Nah, big time. big time. But yeah,
I just have to
funny.
explain that, just to interrupt, guys, that the reason why I fucked that slide up is because I was distracted by the fact that my absolute cunts of neighbours have just put their house up for sale. So I'm a very happy boy right now.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yes.
Good to know you get on with your neighbours there, Pete.
No, it's not been a good year. Nope.
No.
No, definitely not.
Fair play.
Wow.
Fair play, yeah.
Sorry, we're still talking about the Dark Trooper.
Yeah, no,
I think he looks cool. Actually, I've never noticed that he's kind of almost got like fangs, teeth, kind of.
Yeah, I've not noticed that before. Actually,
that's cool, isn't it?
That is cool.
Yeah.
So
they're completely useless in the show, like.
Yeah, definitely.
So in the comments on these ones, it was almost like every idiot that has ever been born flocked to the comments because there were people banging on about accessory packs for the Mandalorian. Like, oh look, there's a Beskar spear there. There's this there. Do you think we're getting an accessory pack? I'm like, why the fuck would they? Like, people going, oh, they should do because the Series 1 figure's exactly the same as the Series 2. And I'm like, but Hot Toys have made it's not the same figure. So it's all right, fair enough, the costume is mildly different, but it's a different series. Like, what the fuck are you on about?
Yeah.
People need to just get a fucking grip, to be fair.
It's funny. You keep talking about turning your hand to a bit of sewing. It made me laugh, the amount of people that are suddenly offering their services at making custom black capes for the Jedi Luke.
I'll tell you what, if you
they're
go
really bad, some of them as well.
If you go online, right, these people making full-blown Jedi capes, full-scale ones,
right?
And they keep saying how easy it is, and people have just scaled it down. They don't look that hard to do, but yeah, the amount of people. But oddly enough, no one's bothering to do the tunic.
No,
so I'm a bit like it's not really, and because that's right. Because in the preview for this, they've got a Return of the Jedi Luke. People going, oh, there you go. We're going to get a Mando one. We're going to get a Mando one. Yeah. I'm like, no, that clearly looks like a brown cape. Like, I know I'm colorblind, but I can tell what brown is. Like, that fucking ain't it.
I think they probably will do it though, because it's got to be an easy,
of course they will.
No-brainer, isn't it?
It's easy money for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
they've
got all the bits. They've just got to buy some dye.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Easy.
Sculpt, so it's not.
Yeah, exactly. Stick a new hairpiece on it, you're fucking done.
Yeah.
And then there was this, which was kind of cool. VCS Toys, Ghost of the Battlefield. This is from Ghost of Tashir, whatever it fucking is, on PlayStation 4. It's 176 quid for the normal edition, 235 for the exclusive with the big fuck off base, and that's out Q3 this year. It's a really nice figure, but I don't have a horse in this race. I've never played the game before.
No, I've never really on my radar.
No. I know people rate that.
That's a good figure.
Some guy posted, said, I really like this, but should I buy this or the Prime 1 statue? I'm like, how is that even a question? There's like all the difference between the £1,200 statue.
Yeah.
It's 4 foot high, and then this thing.
Is that all that is? I'd say it was about $2.5 probably. They're not cheap, are they?
No, they're not at all.
Oh, talking of Prime 1, have you seen the new Batman statue?
No. Who's that? Which version is that?
It's like their version of the Hulkbuster. It's the big fucking tank thing that. Really? I can't remember what comic it is, but the Joker ends up poisoning the Justice League, and they go after Batman. And he's got this giant fucking like Hulkbuster type.
Oh
thing.
Yes, I see it here. Yeah.
Oh, it looked mental. But it comes with 2 statues. You get Batman that sits in front of it, and then this giant like Batbuster that sits behind, and it looked mental. Like
it's $3,000.
Yeah, if I had the money, I'd just have nothing but Prime 1 stuff. They're the only statues I see that I really like.
I'd love some of this stuff. They did like a Dark Knight Returns Batman, and I just love, like, even though you're not getting the cloth, I think just the detail they get in the in the cloth look. You know, all the folds and the creases and stuff. They just look amazing.
Yeah,
but yeah,
you can't really compare a figure to a Prime.
The Justice Buster. Yes,
that's it. Yeah,
Justice Buster. That is cool. That definitely.
Yeah, that was cool.
But no, I think he looks good. He's got a heck of a lot of stuff on. I don't know how he moves around with all that on.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the base.
Yeah, with the fox and stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's a good figure. I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but it looks pretty good, and it's nice to have some difference. I think if you're into your Japanese warriors and Oriental, there's some brilliant stuff out there. Some of the Coup models ones with the full-on like metal armor suits, incredible, absolutely incredible. The detail, I mean, they're quite expensive. They're sort of £300-400 because you get the second suit and you get the throne and all that kind of stuff. But they are really good.
Yeah, and that company In Flames has brought a load more out as well.
Yeah, because they do ones where there's one with a like massive, that really massive body, isn't there? That's even bigger than like an M35.
It's huge.
Yeah,
it's dwarfs an M35.
Yes,
I really want that body for my Bane.
I know.
I can't get my money.
Yeah. No, I think the bodies go for like, even if they're parted out, they're really expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, like £200.
Yeah. But no, some good, good stuff out there. So yeah, this one's the
Lady Bat. SW Toys Lady Bat, £109 plus shipping out in March. I'm very tempted by this.
Is this from something specific? Is this one of the games?
Like from the CW Batwoman TV series.
Right. Okay. Because I don't know if I'm doing this a solid that it doesn't actually warrant, but that does look like a real person dressed up there in that main shot.
Okay, cosplayer. Yeah, it looks pretty good.
So whether it is or not, and it's like a bait and switch, if that's the actual figure, I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, for £109 as well.
Yeah.
I think because the costume's quite basic, it's effectively a leotard with a bat symbol on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, £109. I mean, it would fit in with my Batman stuff because I've not really kept it specific to a certain like theme. So yeah, I'm very tempted by this for £109.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit light on accessories, but because I didn't really like the TV show. I tried watching it and I watched a couple of episodes, and this actress has left now.
Okay,
it's a different bird doing it. But yeah, £109 cannot complain in the slightest about that.
No, definitely not.
No. So I was quite surprised by these. A Gentle Giant, who I normally don't really like, have bringing out a 1/6 scale layer statue for £200, and there's no release date of this. It just says 2021.
Yeah.
The layer looks really good.
Does look really good.
I mean, I prefer that to the Hot Toys layer.
I think the face is better. The likeness is better.
Yeah. So I'm tempted to pick that up because that will fit in with my collection.
I thought you'd say that, but then you've got that's a New Hope. You're going down another rabbit hole.
I've got Tarkin.
You have,
and a New Hope Stormtrooper. So technically, they're my only. They're my only one.
You could do a little display.
It is a good looking statue, though.
Yeah,
it does look brilliant.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a kind of pose you can't get from a figure as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So and for £200, I think that's for $200, it's even less than that.
Yeah. Can you only order it direct from them, sort of through US?
No,
anyone that sells them here.
Other places will have it in stock.
Yeah.
But obviously they'll have it before us.
Yeah, I'd be quite tempted as well. But I'd just be interested to know how like the material of the dress looks like in it, because I've never really had sort of statues as such.
Yeah, so I think it's probably worth waiting for some in-hand.
Yeah, definitely
shots.
But it's only limited to about 1,500, isn't it? So it's one of those things like if you don't pre-order it, are you going to end up having to pay twice that on the aftermarket? I suppose. But yeah.
So they had that, and then they had a 1/6 scale Rex bust from Rebels, which I really like the look of. I think the unmasked sculpt looks really, really good. So that wasn't I think Leia was $200. Rex
Yeah.
was $120, which I didn't think was too bad.
Mhm.
And then they switched up scales, which was a weird move, to 1/7 scale for Thrawn, which is then only $60. Thrawn looks really good, like really good, but it's the wrong scale. It wouldn't fit in with anything.
No, and I've always found busts a bit weird. They can look good, but I'd like to have the whole figure, and that's why the layer would interest me, because obviously it's a full figure, and that sculpt looks brilliant.
I've got a bit of a new appreciation for busts because of some of the stuff I've been downloading, but what I like,
my other half just came in to celebrate the news about our neighbours. I just WhatsApped it to her. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. Now, what I like about busts at the moment is that a lot of the scopes that I'm buying files for come with like a bust element, so I don't have to then display that scoped. If it's an alternative sculpt, I don't have to just have it on a.
I like the idea of that. If it's like a display an alternate sculpt,
yeah. I'd never just buy a bust for the sake of it, because I find it weird that there's only half of it, and a lot of the time they don't have arms, which is just weird. But
yeah, they can be weird, but interesting. And
then I think Steve, you showed us this one, didn't you? And I fucking love it.
It looks amazing.
Toys. Ace Toys, who did the really cool Power Ranger figures, are going to be doing a Lion-O. I really want this.
I know.
Really want this. It looks really good. And obviously they're only just, the master prints, but that looks good. I'm very much looking forward to that. I mean, they haven't said when they're going to be out or anything, though, have they?
No, literally just teasing these shots. I mean, that's on an M35 there, isn't it? So it looks like it's even just prototyping at the moment. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be fantastic. They need to do Mum-Ra to go with it, though.
Yeah. Did they show the car thing as well? The tank? Or was that somebody else? I definitely saw a rendition of the cat. I mean, 1/6 scale would be ridiculously huge, I suppose.
Yeah, not kidding. You got room for another vehicle?
But not of that size. I'd rather have the APC from Aliens, although that would be fucking huge, because we talked to Yoast about that, and I was just thinking, no, actually, you couldn't do it. You could do an interior as like a
the actual thing was made from a modified airport plane tug, wasn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely massive.
Yeah,
so
huge.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Super 7. That was that's like 6-7 inch scale. That would make more sense. But I used to love Thundercats as a kid.
It's great.
And there were never really any. They never really got that. There were figures, but they weren't anywhere near as good as the He-Man ones back in the the original.
They didn't. Their arms didn't bend.
No,
they just bend at the hips and the shoulders.
Yes, So I did have a couple of them, but I was always a bit disappointed with them compared to sort of some of the other franchises. So it's good to kind of.
I wish someone would do a decent He-Man like this quality.
Yeah,
it needs to be done, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. There's loads of stuff from my childhood that I'm like, I'd love it if someone made. Did you ever watch the not the newest version of Thundercats? There was a version that they did about 6-7 years ago, and it was all like a manga style.
Yeah, I think I did see some of that.
Yeah, I think I downloaded that on iTunes, and that was pretty good. That was worth a watch, but I only did one series.
Yeah, the visuals were good, weren't they? I think it worked well in that style, but it's all good.
Yeah, so that was pretty much all we saw that we thought was worth a mention. There was some other shit that really wasn't, but and then we've been quite sport with TV, film, and games at the moment. And I think because everyone's locked up indoors, there's really fuck all else to do. So over here in dear old Blighty, Lower Decks dropped on Amazon beginning of the week.
What's this? I've not heard of it.
Oh, it is.
I've heard of it, and I just noticed it when I flicked into Prime the other day.
It is.
You watched some?
I've watched all of it. I think I've got one more episode to go. I've binged it. It is fucking brilliant. So the principle is that these guys are the lower deck crew. So they're not. It's not on the Enterprise or anything like that. They are the lower deck crew of a different type of ship that generally does the menial kind of low level Federation stuff. It's absolutely brilliant. It's in the same kind of vein as kind of Family Guy, Bob's Burgers, that kind of feel to it. But it's all really, really well written, and it's all and they're really accurate when it comes to like the Star Trek lore, which makes it even better. So the episode I was watching this morning, the guy in the middle, Brentley, something like that. I can't remember his name. He is trying to suck up to the captain because he has his appraisal. So what he does is makes a holodeck program, takes everyone's personal logs, and makes the crew. And the girl above him with the long hair, that's the captain's daughter, but no one knows. And she absolutely fucking hates the captain, and she's just a bit of a know-it-all. But she's been told you need to go to therapy. So she's like, no, not fucking doing this, not having it. She gets hold of the program and reprograms it as a movie, so she can effectively be a marauder and attack the ship that she serves. But the way it's all done is very much like a Star Trek movie. So when they're standing in the holodeck, all the blue writing comes up and rushes towards them and hits one of them in the head, and it's absolutely brilliant. Because what I thought was really good about it was they even put the film grain over the top. And occasionally you get the kind of circles in the film, the black circles that pop up and disappear. That was popping up. It's really worth a watch, because as someone who, if you lean more towards, say, like the next generation and that kind of thing, it's dead down your street. It's really, really good. Because, so
what is it? Sort of 20, 25 minutes, sort of. Short.
About 20 minutes a pop.
How many of them are there?
There was 12 in the first series. There's all these little nods to stuff. I mean, I pissed myself laughing because right at the end of the episode, one of the episodes, Q turns up, and it's the guy. It's the guy voicing himself. It is the proper Q actor. And he's got his big hat on, and he's on his throne, and he comes out in front and goes, "I challenge you guys to prove to me humanity's worth." And they just go, "Fuck off, Q. We're not in the mood for you today. Go bother Picard." And he goes, and he's like floating off and going, "No, Picard's boring. All he wants to do is quote Shakespeare and drink wine." Absolutely fantastic.
Give that a go, yeah.
It's really good. It's probably one of the best things that's been on in a little while, particularly like animation wise. It's just, if you like Star Trek, it's a really good. It's got loads of little in jokes. It's got loads of little bits of lore. I mean, they fast forward to way into the future, and one of them's worried about how he's going to be remembered, and he gets remembered for inventing this algorithm which effectively cuts down the amount of work. So he's forever known as like the laziest man in the galaxy. And then they go, "So now we're done with him. It's time to teach you all about the most important person ever in the Federation." Then they go, and they put up this hologram and go, "Chief Miles O'Brien," and then they just cut the episode. It's absolutely brilliant. Really, really good. So well worth it. Well worth it. And then this coming to America was you guys, so tell me about it, because I've purposely not looked at anything.
All I really know is that, well, then it was my mate that pointed it out to me, but it's been in production for a while, and it's meant to have been out by now, wasn't it? But COVID pushed it back.
I don't know. I mean, it's been picked up. It's Amazon Prime, isn't it? And I've got a date of 5th of March. I assume that's, I don't know if that's worldwide or whatever. But I love the original film. One of my favourites.
Yeah, the original film's fantastic, isn't it?
Me and my mate used to watch it like just continuously. I was about.
Was one of Sam Jackson's early
it was. Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? It's like, what the fuck is this asshole? Nobody really knew he was.
That was good.
Bad Sam Jackson.
That was good.
He's the robber, isn't he? And he comes into the burger store and he takes him out with the broom. But I just love it. Yeah, and all the stuff in the barber shop, and it's it's a great movie. Really,
I tell you what, Eddie Murphy. I mean, I don't know what he must be 60, getting there now. Doesn't look it, does he?
No,
it doesn't age. He gets a bit portly, but other than that,
yeah, he's got a bit of timber on, but he definitely has.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he's doing another not Lethal Weapon. He's doing another Beverly Hills Cop.
Is he really? He needs to kind of redeem himself because he's made some proper shite between like his early stuff, and then now. So I think he's kind of maybe going to try. I hope this is really good. I hope
some of his early stuff is like the best. I mean, you've got Beverly Hills Cop, you've got Trading Places, you've got Coming to America. There's some fantastic stuff, and then he's become pure drivel.
And he's like doing all the Haunted Mansion and
I think the Nutty Professor. The start of the downward spiral. Norbert and all that sort of shit.
Donkey was good. I can't fault him for Donkey.
Good character.
But I hope this is good because I'm a big fan of the original. So
definitely,
Mm-hmm.
I'll agree with that. Trading Places, 48 Hours.
Yeah, 48 Hours. Yeah, fantastic film.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I never realised when I was younger he played all the barbers. I mean, that's what's brilliant about him.
Yeah,
is he can.
So good. And the preacher guy in the sexual chocolate, ladies and gentlemen.
There's quite a lot of characters that Arsenio plays as well, and they've done it again in this film. If you watch the trailer, both of them are in.
Yeah, I'll have to watch the trailer. Actually, I didn't even realise there was a trailer out. To be honest, so
it's on. Go on IMDb or
go and
YouTube.
have a look. Yeah, definitely.
It looks like it's going to be great. It's just basically more of the same of what the first film did well.
Yeah, good. Like that. And then talking of trailers, the big one that dropped was the Godzilla versus Kong. You guys seen this?
So I have, but I didn't realise that this is like the fourth film in the series. I've only seen the first one, which was the Godzilla with Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, is it 3 or 4? Because there's been the Skull Island.
Yeah,
there's Skull Island. Then there's the second Godzilla, which was called some weird name.
Oh,
this is the fourth one. No, I haven't either. I didn't realise.
I didn't realise that. No, I didn't. I didn't know that other Godzilla was to do with.
Yeah, because there was I started watching when Bryan Cranston and didn't make it all the way through. Watched Skull Island because that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
wasn't there another Kong film, or was that just? Or
was
that?
It was another Godzilla film.
Kong,
yeah, the Peter Jackson one.
Godzilla King of the Monsters. That was out 2 years ago.
Yeah, so that's in the same series.
Yeah, it's all the same universe. Yeah, and then
okay.
this is obviously the matchup between the Kong from Skull Island and the Godzilla from the last two Godzilla movies. So it's all the same series. Apparently, I'm not a massive fan.
Kong's been doing some growing because apparently he's about 350 feet now, about the same as Godzilla, and he was about 100 foot in Skull Island. So
it's definitely
just a baby in that. But I quite like Skull Island. The only thing I don't like about it is I think the creatures he fights are really rubbish. They're just kind of like
I've not watched it yet. I'm gonna have to watch it because I want to watch this one. Looks pretty good. So I'm catch up.
You're basically they're the same. You see them in the Godzilla. So I get the link, but they were just a bit sort of nondescript. I like it all the way up to that. It looks amazing, and you've got Sam Jackson and bits and pieces quite good, and Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson. So it's a good cast. It's a good film. I think it's let down a bit by the sort of lackluster creatures, but I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be proper like ridiculous. Leave your brain on the side kind of viewing. But, I'm a big fan of Kong.
Godzilla,
I like
isn't it?
Godzilla. Yeah,
radioactive fire and breathing.
Yeah, and obviously, the guys on CW have been talking about it a lot, but it's evident that Mecha Godzilla's in it, and that these guys will probably have to team up. And there's bits of Kong swinging around Mothra by its tail and that kind of thing. So I think visually it looks good fun, and it will be coming to you for this one, Steve, because it's an HBO Max and cinema, but I can't see that the cinemas are going to be open by May. This has got a date of
no way.
May 21st. So
they can't open cinemas before they open schools.
No.
We'll find a web rip of it.
We'll find a way, but I think it'd be good fun. It looks good. I think we need a bit of bit of fun, something a bit entertaining. Because I don't know what. Obviously, the news. I think last week they've put the No Time to Die back to October again, so it's going to
Really? Wow.
Basically release about 18 months late, even if it hits that. And I don't know. I haven't seen anything about sort of the other things like Maverick. That was what I was really looking forward to, Maverick.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
I don't know where that's. I mean, a lot of them are just in limbo because I know that they tried to. I think we talked about it on one of the other shows, but they tried to sell. MGM tried to sell Bonds to some of the streaming platforms, but the money they wanted for it, they wanted like £800 million, I think. So
Jesus.
Nobody got close. Apparently, Apple put in about 500 million. That was their best offer, but it was rejected. So,
wow.
Yeah,
Apple was definitely good for the money.
Oh, definitely good for the money. But they said that it wasn't really a case of what that would cost, just that there was nothing to follow on from it. You know, they wouldn't mind paying that money if it was the first of a, but you know, the next Bond film was going to be 3-4 years ago. It probably won't be Daniel Craig. So there wasn't that sell-on potential. You know, they get a lot of people subscribe for the first, you know, for a month and watch it, and then it would just die off. So, and obviously with something like that, the costs are so huge to make a film like that. It's a bit different to like the Mulan that we had, or even Wonder Woman. I mean, you know, because Bond would have spent so much on all the advertising and everything, because it was all set to release, wasn't it, in April? Then it got cut. So some of these other films, they've not actually spent all that money on the advertising and things, whereas Bond has already cost a lot of money, I think.
Yeah,
so, it's a shame because I was quite looking forward to seeing it. And
me too. I can't wait.
Yeah, so
wait.
Yeah, definitely. So so I think that's kind of that's it for you boys. Been watching anything interesting on the telly box?
I've been catching up on. Well, I've been watching old movies from like the 80s and stuff, just rewatching classic stuff. But nothing recent. There's not been many movies released. As I watched Wonder Woman, which on reflection wasn't great, and apart from that, no.
We're rewatching Stranger Things because my missus never watched it, so I'm quite enjoying that second time round. We're sort of about halfway through series 2.
Tell you what, I did watch on Ian's recommendation was Schitt's Creek, and oh my god, that's such a good show. Really, really good. Yeah, really well written. Me and the missus just absolutely hammered it in about not very much time at all, because they're only 20 minutes each, aren't they? So you can do quite a lot of them in one night. And we laughed every single episode. We laughed our heads off.
They were all really, really good, and it was really surprising because I think someone had mentioned it to me, and I was I'll watch it whenever, and then we just started watching it, and that was it. I think we'd done like 4 or 5 episodes in one night. It's such a good program.
That's what we were doing, like 5-6 episodes every single night till we'd done it. But he's a very clever lad, you know, and putting it together. And obviously his daddy worked with it on it, didn't he? But that was good.
Yeah, I've just been kind of polishing stuff off. I started watching The American Office and caned that. So I just finished watching the last episode a couple of nights ago. And that was really good because the first series is almost a carbon copy of what goes on in the British one.
Yeah.
And then after that, it completely goes off on its own tangent. So I was quite happy with that. I was watching that and that was quite good. I finished off watching Sweet Home, that Korean thing on Netflix.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Really good. That's worth a watch.
Yeah.
And then I've just kind of been polishing off the stuff that I started and then just stopped watching. It's getting to the point now where I've kind of seen everything I want to watch at the moment, and there's nothing really.
Yeah, is suffering from that a bit. But I've actually been watching The Crown, which is very good. It's not really what I thought would be my sort of thing, but it's really, it's really well.
It was Gillian Anderson playing Margaret Thatcher. I've not watched it yet.
Because
very good.
That's how I came into it. So I watched that's the 4th series. So that's the final series they do. So they basically go up to kind of when the relationship between Diane and Charles starts breaking down, because they said, I think Mrs. said that early on, they said that they wouldn't go any later than that, because obviously there's the children are still, all like Harry and Will and all that, and they didn't want to kind of tread on that sort of thing. But so I watched that. So I kind of watched the last series first and really got into it. Gillian Anderson is really, like, she's scarily good as Thatcher.
She has a good British accent, because it's not the only thing she's done a British accent in either, and she's really good at it.
Yeah. And I've gone back and I've been watching the old ones, and actually I've like, I've really enjoyed them. It's not quite like the sort of normal thing that we'd discuss on here, but I would recommend it for something a bit different. It's really well acted, and some of the stuff you think, oh fucking hell, like, you didn't realise how, because obviously we weren't alive for a lot of the early. So it's quite. There's some stuff there that you think, well, that was a bit rough, and that kind of thing. And it's just good. So I kind of learned quite a bit about British sort of recent history as well, which has been really good. So
that was interesting.
So it's a bit of a something out there. Something a bit different.
Yeah, Mark in the comments has been binging the A-Team. Good lad.
You know what I've been thinking about doing that.
Brilliant.
And Knight Rider recently. I really would love to go back and rewatch them shows. But now he said there's a lot of hot chicks in the A-Team. I think that'll be the first one.
I see what I did start watching again the other day, because they're all on Amazon. Was Farscape? Did you ever used to watch that?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. That was a weird one.
Farscape?
Yeah, it was great.
No.
But yeah, it's on Amazon. Watch it; it's really good. Did you ever watch? Did you ever watch Stargate, the TV series?
Yeah, a little bit.
I think the last series it swapped over to a guy called Ben Bauer. He's the guy from Farscape, and most of the Farscape cast then popped up in Stargate because they've got Farscape and Stargate on Amazon, and I love both of those. So they're on
great.
The
characters and stuff are pretty. It's like a sort of like Jim Henson meets the prosthetics and stuff on the masks and everything. They're really good, aren't they?
Yeah. Scorpius was such a good villain.
He's bit of S&M villain kind of. He's got this like kind of leather thing on his face.
Effectively, Steve, this guy John Crichton, he's flying an experimental like spacecraft. It ends up getting flung through this wormhole, and he ends up on the other side of the galaxy. But he gets picked up by this massive like living ship that's full of these escaped convicts, and then he ends up with them for the entire run of the show. But it's really, really good. It's probably one of the best sci-fi TV programs I've ever seen. It's really good. That's well worth a watch.
And then it had like a spin-off, didn't it? It's like Dark Chronicles or something. There's like a spin-off thing.
I don't think that was anything to do with Farscape, because what they did was they ended the series and then carried on in comics.
Okay.
Yeah, Rigel. There we go. Raina. I love Rigel.
Yeah.
I think you did spell that wrong. But yeah, Rigel's just a little slug thing on this floating pillow that's fantastic.
Who's the barbarian guy with the big sword on his
Luxon
back? Yeah.
I can't remember his name now.
Cool. I like him.
It's very Diago.
Yeah.
Diago. Then you had Erin, which was the Peacekeeper. Peacekeeper Wars was a movie. Yes, I remember that.
I remember it. Yeah, I'm tempted to go back and watch it now. Yeah.
Amazon is quite good for those older TV programs.
And the other one I think I mentioned that probably needs a mention because of the lady that played Delenn in Babylon 5 died this week. Did you watch Babylon 5?
Yeah. So a few years back, I downloaded the first series because it was cheap on Apple. Loved the first series, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Then bought the box set and watched the rest. And I must admit, after the first series, it just went to shit. It just turned to utter crap. I couldn't do it.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
first it was fantastic. Then after that, I just lost all interest.
I liked this kind of like the last series when it got really dark with the them all being taken over by the shadows and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I suppose it depends where you come from. I'm a bit older than you, Ian. I'm probably not that much older than you, Steve, I don't think. But I kind of watched that when I was at university. So it was kind of like a thing we used to all kind of gather around the one guy that had the big TV. We used to watch that every week and everything. So I kind of like, maybe I've got more of a connection. I haven't watched it again recently. So I can imagine that some of the CGI looks a bit cheap because it was always done on a bit of a budget.
But it always, it's very of its time, I think.
Yeah.
Like if you go back and watch it now. But the thing is, it was up against like Deep Space Nine, and it was never.
Yeah.
It was never going to fare well against that.
Yeah, exactly. But I thought the story was strong, and I say it got quite dark towards the end, and then you got like one of those sort of what the fuck ones where it's something like threw you like 1,000 years into the future, stuff like that. So I think it did some really clever stuff. I'm not sure that I'd ever go back to it just because it's quite a lot, as you say, it's quite a lot to kind of get through. But
Ryan, yes, I did. Sliders.
Oh yeah, has that got Salah in it from John Rhys Davies, isn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I remember Sliders.
That was a good show. That you always wanted them to get back to the original bloody timeline, didn't you?
Do you remember the episode when they did and they didn't realise and then fucked off again?
Yes, yeah.
They got sent back, and then he's like, they've only got like 5-10 seconds or so to decide, and he's right outside his grand's house, and he's like, right, if this is definitely ours, that gate will squeak. It always squeaks. It squeaked for years, and he goes, no, it doesn't squeak. They jump back in, and then the bloke comes out and goes, I really hope you find him. Anyway, I've oiled your gate for you.
No, and you're like, they were there.
Yeah. They did it a few times where like you thought it was right near the end of the episode, and that you thought they were there, and then something was like slightly different, and you're like, they're not back. It's just so many times.
It's like
after all, it's good enough. It's good enough.
Very similar to like Dungeons and Dragons as well, where they were always trying to get back, and when they did get back, they had to go back because they needed to draw Avenger back into the. They didn't want him loose in their world. That's cool.
Yeah,
and also,
and then it never ended.
No, it didn't. It didn't. No, and like Quantum Leap as well.
Quantum Leap. I was just about to say Quantum Leap as well. He did get back eventually, didn't he?
I think so. Yeah,
I think it was right. Yeah, I'm sure that's how he finished it, but I can't remember. It's so long ago.
I was watching something else, and it was about Quantum Leap, and it was about he could. They gave him the choice. He could either carry on doing what he was doing or go home, and he chose to carry on. So he's just constantly jumping around.
Yeah, it was a fantastic show though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah. Big time. Definitely. But the thing is, this whole like lockdown is all about just. I think because we've watched everything that's pretty much new.
We're just going back.
There is nothing really new coming out. It's all about going back and watching the older stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I went back and watched. Have you ever seen a film called Firefox with Clint Eastwood?
It's funny because we talked about that, and you hadn't heard of it, had you, Ian?
No.
Yeah, I mean, the first hour and a half of it is just a rather mundane Russian spy thriller. The last half hour is just balls to the wall.
Love it.
Fighter jet action. It's just amazing. I used to love it as a kid, but my dad would enjoy the first hour and a half, and I'd enjoy the last half hour.
Yeah, it was really cool because we've talked about because Sideshow have announced some 1/6 scale and statues for Clint Eastwood. Yeah, and I mentioned it on there, and I used to love it because he had to learn to speak Russian, didn't he? And it was like a kind of an early sort of voice activated bits and pieces, and the bit where he lands it on the ice, doesn't he, at the end, and then the submarine comes up. Yeah, it's cool.
So I went back and watched that, just random stuff that I've not seen in a long time. I must go back and watch Stargate, the film. I haven't seen that since it.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's quite
fantastic.
Yeah, that was a good film.
Definitely.
Yeah, Rainey says, what did you guys think of the Andromeda TV show?
Never seen it.
Have you not?
I've never seen it either. No.
It was quite good. I didn't watch all of it though. I think I only watched 3 or 4 series, something like that, because it was the guy from Hercules.
Oh yes, Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah, because I used to quite like Hercules and Xena and all that because it was Sam Raimi did a load of them, and you've got Bruce Campbell popping up. Sam Raimi's in there and all that, and Andromeda wasn't too bad. It was all right. That's on that's on Amazon. Amazon just seems to have scooped up all the old TV,
all the old stuff. Yeah.
So
and obviously we've got the I was just to say in terms of that, we've got the next month we've got the Star. Is it Star Plus? They're calling it for the Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's been announced.
Tons of stuff on it. I'm even thinking I might start watching the X-Files again.
They're on Amazon at the moment.
Oh, are they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I started watching. I'm on series 3, I think, of the X-Files at the moment.
You can go and rewatch Desperate Housewives as well, Pete.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah.
I tell you what I did watch. I finally watched the DVD that Raina sent me.
Oh yes.
Velocipasta.
I saw some screenshots from it. It looked great.
It is the best film I have ever seen. It's so unbelievably bad. It's good. It's just I knew I was going to love it. The first scene where this guy comes out of the he comes out the church and he's like, "Oh, mum, dad." He waves at his mum and dad, and then they're just standing by the car giving it all that "hello, son," and then the car just cuts away to this explosion. He gets thrown to the floor, cuts back to where his mum and dad were. And there's just the words floating in the air. VFX insert burning car. And then when he's a velociraptor, he's literally just a man in a suit.
It's like that one you see. I think that Chris had it on Top Gear one episode, and they were running around whacking golf balls at him. It's just like that same suit that you always see people in.
Yeah, they ripped this guy's head off at one point. It's not even a mannequin head. It's one of those those ones people practice makeup on. With these massive thick eyebrows stuck on it and all this fake blood. It's fucking fantastic.
I'll tell you what, when you send over our swag and bits and pieces, send it to me. I'll watch it, then I'll send it on to Steve, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was fucking fantastic. It was the best film I've seen in ages. That's how bad lockdown's got. That's classed as a masterpiece.
Yep.
Still, I enjoyed it more than Wonder Woman. And then Custom Corner. I've had a pretty good time of it. To be fair, I've been painting quite a bit lately. I'm going to apologise to everyone who I've got sculpts for sitting here. I am working my way through it. It's just taking me way longer than I thought it was going to. So with my 3D printer down, I can't print anything, which is a pain in the ass. But one of the last things I did print was a Boba Fett sculpt by a guy called Lux Sculpt. He does that Ahsoka and he does that Din Djarin. Now, I bought Din Djarin last night, so when my new printer turns up, I will be printing that for my Beskar Mando that turns up. His work is really good and he's really, really reasonable. And what makes him different to other sculptors who offer their work for people to 3D print is he literally puts on the page, you can print it, you can sell it, you can do what you like with it, just don't sell the files. You can print off as many as you like, sell as many as you like, just credit me, I'm absolutely fine with it.
That's great.
Brilliant. Really, and it's amazing because most people are like, you can't do fuck all with it, it's mine, you can't do fuck all, you can print one and that's it. And I've spoken to him a few times on Facebook, and he's a really nice guy. Those Ahsoka sabers, I printed those off a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
He literally went to everyone on the Star Wars Customs page. Here's a set. Here's a link to them. You can download them. They're yours. Have them. So he's a really nice guy. So I downloaded. So Boba, they're all coming 1/6 scale. Boba is just a tad too big, so I'm going to scale that down. I'm going to try and do the rest of the armor and that, and try and do a full figure of that. But they're all busts. So when you pay the $25 for the file, you get the head with or without a neck. You get the bust, and you get it, and with Boba you get the two expressions. So you get that straight on expression, then the angry snarling one as well. So he really packs it full of stuff. So I've already had a few people message me about Din Djarin saying, can you print me one? I found this. I said, well, I've already bought the files, so yeah, once I get a printer I can do it for you. So I've been looking at those, and hopefully he's going to keep pumping more out because his work's really good. And then we had an update on the Inigo Empire Han, where they were running the pre-orders up to the end of this month, so in a couple of days. And then that was it. They were going to go off and be casted, printed, whatever. So hopefully, next couple of months, I should have one of those. And then I got sent a Kylo Ren sculpt to do with a Rey as well. So I started the Kylo, finished that off the other night, and it was quite nice because for ages I've been painting a lot of animated stuff and a lot of Darth Vader stuff, which the Darth Vader stuff is pretty much black with a bit of shading and a few other bits, and the animated stuff is all very much half my normal painting process. So where I would get to a point where I would start adding shading and texture and all of that, with animated you don't. You fight every temptation you ever have to do that. You keep it plain block colours, try and make it as neat as you can. Yeah, and it works. So I've been doing lots and lots of that. So it was quite nice to paint something a bit more realistic, like realistic tones and stuff. So I quite enjoyed doing that. And I sat there the other night and I lined up all the sculpts that I needed to paint. And the idea was I was going to try and batch paint a few where I base coated everything, because I've got Eric's Black Adam as well, so base coated everything. Then I was going to do the top, the main skin tone on them all, and then start to work my way through. But I ended up getting way too carried away with this, and I ended up before I know it, it's like I finished it. It's like 11 o'clock, because with that one, there's loads of little strands of hair that come onto the face.
Yes.
But I've added a load in, because what I found was the ones on the cheeks and stuff, it was almost like someone had got a massive wet strand of hair and just gone, So I added a few more bits that flicked off of it, stuff like that. So I was quite happy with how that turned out in the end.
Yeah, that's good.
But I'm trading the paintwork for that and the Rey for a Last Jedi Kylo Ren without the masked. With only the mask sculpt. So the unmasked Kylo head isn't there, but there's a Sid Naik guy who I've had sculpts off before who does a Kylo bust. So I'm just going to nick the head off of that, buy that file print, and I'll stick that head on. But yeah, so I've still got plenty to do. I think the next one I'm going to be doing is Rey, and then I've got to do a Star Killer. So the Star Killer has like a silver and black body. So I've done the head. I've just got to paint the body, and then I've got props and stuff people have started sending me. So I was showing Pete before if I can. So I've got that to do for Dean Gladwell.
Very nice.
From that Cyberpunk game.
2077, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cox, all of this stuff comes out, and apparently it was all printed on an FDM printer with a couple of resin bits. So I've got that, and the bullets from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and he's going to send us the actual gun to do as well. So yeah, busy boy. I've got plenty to crack on with.
Yeah, haven't you just?
Yeah, which is quite nice because there's really fuck all else to do in lockdown.
Yeah, true. I'm busy printing at the moment. I've just printed ET in 1/6 scale.
Nice.
Yeah, that looks good actually. Yeah,
it came out really well. Although I'd like to try and do it again on a bigger printer with the arms. Do it as one, because I printed the arms separately, and it's fine, but it just means you've got to join them together and all that.
Yeah.
So, but no, I'm just trying to go through printing some stuff like that.
Yeah.
That alien you did the other day was really good.
Oh, the face hugger.
With them. Yeah.
I'm gonna get one of those eventually from you, mate. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. I must admit, I sit there in the evenings. I go on to places like CG Trader and stuff like that, and I'm like, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. And then you end up with loads of stuff that you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do with half of this.
I know. I'm always on Gambody looking on there because I really like that site. And when you download their files, it's all done in a way where they've really thought about how it should go together and how it should print, and it tells you the best angles to print that and all that type of stuff. So their files are really, really nice.
I'll have a look. I've heard of them. I'll have a look.
Yeah. If you subscribe to their newsletter, they keep doing giveaways, and you get the more you buy, you get discounts and all that type of stuff. It's really good.
What's it called? Gambody.
Gambody, yeah.
If I don't do it now, I'll forget. Yeah, I must. I sit there. I sit there. When I get a bit bored, I'm like going through, going, "Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that."
Yeah.
Like I find particularly with stuff like CG Trader, they have these sales that are constant. And last night I was going through, and they had the Guyver unit from the Guyver, and I was like, "Oh, Guyver figure, I could have that with that." And I think it was meant to be like a tenner, and then because of the sale, it was like £4 or $4 or something. And I was like the Mando, the thigh plate, it's like $3. Like when I picked it up in the sale, I think I picked up a Beskar spear for like $6-7.
Yes,
it's insane how cheap. It makes you wonder how anyone makes any money out of it, because they take CG Trader will take their cut.
Yeah, totally.
If they're going, oh, we're having a 50% off sale, like it can't be worth it. It really can't. But yeah. So anyway, talking of 3D printing, we are going to thank Mr. Watto again, who was in the chat not long ago. Yeah, like we said before, top guy, does some really good work. I painted up quite a few of his bits, and I've got a few other Darth Mauls are the next ones of his I'm going to be doing. Top guy, really, really is well worth hitting him up for all your Kenner replacement bits, 6-scale head sculpts, Black Series. He does it all, and soon train tracks and God knows what. Like top guy, well worth.
Definitely.
If you want anything,
definitely. Tom, part of the show, we're going to thank our Patreonies. These guys keep the show going with their very appreciated donations. So Ben Porter, Sean Fear, Ian Seaby, Rene Mendes, Eric Mariscal, Quint Aguirre, Lima Hernandez, we're supposed to say now, after Rayner's renaming of Leo. King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, who's our newest member, I think. Dan Lee, Dini Martin, Stephen Crett, Jason Nelson, Big Fern, King Zachary V, Susan Maraquin, Eddie Mendez, Eric Ruiz, Mario Cortez, Stephen Purchase, Sean Yahtzee, Scott Bradley, Jesse Contreras, Stephen Maria Stanley, Lord Voldator, and Eddie Manzanares. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. These are the tiers if you fancy being joining these sweet angels on the Patreon. So they're in dollars. $5 a month is Sweet Angel, gets you the sticker of the month sent straight to your door, as well as access to Ox After Dark replay. So normally you have to catch After Dark live, otherwise you can't watch it unless you subscribe or you are a host. Although Ian's not worked it out yet.
No, not quite yet.
He goes, like, how have you seen? I've always missed it. And I'm like, well, yeah, you can get it. You have to just speak nicely to Zach, and he'll give you access.
Yeah, I keep meaning to, but then I keep forgetting.
Well, yeah. And then every show, you're like, oh yeah, I need to sort that out.
Yeah.
Second tier is $15 a month. That is certified crispy. That gives you a certificate, assistance with figure fixes by Zach, and all the benefits of the previous tier. And then the top tier, $25 a month. What a guy! That gets you the poster, doubles all the stickers, so you can send them to your nearest and dearest. And Ian will paint one sculpt for you per year. You are responsible for supplying the sculpt, paying the postage either way, and any customs fees or anything that is incurred from that. So yeah, come and support us if you like the show. And these are the benefits for February. So we've got the new In and Outs of Collecting, which I believe is dropping on YouTube tomorrow. I've listened to some of the audio; sounds really good. So that's Mario and Eddie, their new show. Kind of similar in style to some of the other ones, but they're going to do some, hopefully, do some location stuff. But obviously, that's very much dependent on. They did a little. There's a big store called Frank and Sons. It's amazing. You just think, oh, I wish we had shops like that in this country.
I'd love to go there. It's more of a warehouse, isn't it? With
It's incredible the stuff they've got there.
I'd have no money left.
No, I wouldn't.
If I'm ever in California, I'll be going there.
I'll be selling the clothes off my back. It's like, looks brilliant. So that was really good. And then this one looks really cool. The Gooch Grease sticker. Exclusive for the Crispy and Watto Guy tiers. But I like that. It's kind of like a little nod to the Victorian English gentleman there. So that's
Grease in his gooch.
Yeah, definitely got yeah. That's good. I like that one. I'm looking forward to getting one of those. And then this is our network. So we've got Small Talk, Dylan, and apparently Zach said that he's going to be teaming up with Sean from Collecting Comics. They're kind of going to do a joint thing at the moment because obviously they're both kind of single-handedly running those shows, so they're going to do like a combined job on that one. Got the main show, Zach and Dean, love you guys. Collecting Weekly Live, best show on the network, maybe. OFAC,
100%.
Yeah, waving the flag, moving things on into like the future. Oxyon, which is the kind of auction thing. I'm not sure when I think they're doing one next month or whatever. Most of you guys in the US, because obviously it's not really once you add shipping and everything in, it's not really economical for us in the UK. But there's some good deals to be had there if you've got some figures to get rid of or you're looking for something to pick up. Joy of Hobbying is Zach's little tinkering. I think he did one on lighting cabinets, didn't he? The ones I know you were talking about earlier. Yeah. Then we got Collecting Rarities. It's Rainer's show. And Jesse, I think they do look at some of the more unusual aspects of collecting. They did, as they had a guy on talking about
penis rings.
I think that's the next one. The one I watched was about model trains, which is funny because it's always seen as a very much like a proper, like I don't know, a dark kind of hobby in the UK. It's very much like men in brown coats hiding up in their lofts. But yeah, each to their own. It was
this is from grown men who collect dollies.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing. It's like that's the irony from it, isn't it? It's like when you go, oh yeah, you collect model trains. You're like, oh what? And then we're like, yeah, I comb hair on 1/6 scale dolls. Yeah. Creeps Are Us, which is Manny's
lotion on his skin.
Yeah, definitely. I've definitely rubbed some lotion on some leather 1/6 scale leather jackets. Does that count?
Yeah, I know you've rubbed it into.
No. After Dark, yeah, definitely. Gooch Grease works a treat on leather. Yep.
Yeah.
Never crack again. From the crack to the After Dark, which is the CD after hours show with Zach and Dean. Talk about anything that's gone on. A lot of the funny videos, like the one that we had at the start, I saw on there. So it's always a good laugh. And In and Out's Collecting, which is the new show. So I think the first few are going to be pre-recorded, so the guys kind of find their feet, and then they'll be going live. I think it might be like a Friday that they were chatting about when they might. And we said no, not a Thursday. And how do you say it? We are Thursday.
We are Thursdays.
Yeah, we are Thursdays. So you can have Fridays, boys, but Thursdays belongs to OFAC and Small Talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's our network. So hopefully there's enough to entertain everybody there.
Yeah, I'd like to think that there's something there for everyone.
Yep, definitely.
If not, you're a sad cunt and you don't deserve to be watching videos.
Yeah. Too right, mate.
Yeah. Cool.
Wow.
Well, I guess that's it. It's been okay.
It's nearly 2 hours, but that's quite a short one.
2 hours. It's not bad.
No.
The thing is, because we know Chinese New Year's coming up and it's starting to slow down.
Yeah.
the moment that's done with, it's just going to be fucking chaos again. They're going to be
Yeah,
dropping every third party figure you can imagine.
Yeah.
Because I was on Sideshow today, and when I ordered Cody, I was looking, and I was even eyeing up an IG unit, and I was like, it says there, February to March, or was it February or January? No, sorry, January to February, and I was like, there's no way that's coming out before Chinese New Year. Like, no, that's going to be delayed. Like, if that's what it's saying on Sideshow, and it's not even dropped in Hong Kong yet, I was like, no chance. But
it's a shed load due to drop, isn't it?
Yeah, as soon as Chinese New Year's over, that's it. Floodgates are open.
Yeah. When is it? Is it now or is it?
It must be the end. It's the very end of Jan, isn't it? So we're pretty much there, I think.
Yeah.
But you got 2 weeks coming, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah. Like I say, I can never remember what I've got coming, but Hot Toys are going to release a ton because they haven't released anything in ages.
No.
So I've definitely got a few Hot Toys on order and probably a few third-party things as well.
I think the only thing I'm waiting for, so Cody I booked today should ship straight away. I think I've got Rex, which is a second batch Hong Kong jobby, so that won't be out until Q3, I don't think, because it's second batch. And then that's it for this year. I've literally everything else is all coming out next year. From January next year, I'm going to be very poor because a lot of my stuff drops like 1 month after the other. But there's nothing I've got on pre-order for this year.
Is Snow Speeder Luke going to hit this year?
Next year, 2020.
Yeah, I've got that on order. Yeah, I've got Best Commando will be any time now.
Yeah,
I've got the Mark 85. I've got Captain America from not Infinity War. What's the other one?
Endgame. God, that's taking forever.
Endgame. Yeah, got that on order. A few others as well. Yeah, Lando. Yeah. I've got the Boba Fett 40th anniversary edition. That's on order as well. So yeah, I've got quite a few Hot Toys. Just Hot Toys alone. Then I've got a few. I must have a few third-party figures on order as well.
Yeah.
You are the king. You are the king of the pre-order, Steve.
Yeah, just order everything and sell what you don't like. It's my motto.
It's quite nice in that way because you're not going to lose out. You can always move this stuff on.
Never going to lose out. You're always guaranteed everything at the best price.
And sometimes there's just that. Like I've just bought figures just to see what they're like in hand and then just moved them on. Sometimes you need that. You need that to like tell yourself that you don't actually want that figure.
You didn't need it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's quite good doing that sometimes.
So plus, I mean, it doesn't cost anything to pre-order stuff. I just whack it on a credit card when it comes in.
Yeah.
And then by the time you sold it, you can pay your credit card off. It just doesn't cost you anything to do it.
No, definitely. Yeah. So yes.
Plus, you have a win occasionally because sometimes some things end up being really high demand because they've all sold out by the time it gets released.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you learn that if you've got even an inkling that you want a figure, just pre-order it. And even if you just walk away from it, if you've only put down 20 quid, then you still, it's worth the punt. Even if you can't be bothered to pay for it and sell it on, it's.
I must admit, I've jumped more on the Sideshow bandwagon lately than I have anything else, just because I don't really I don't really pre-order anything miles out in advance. And then what I was finding was stuff would be released in Hong Kong. I'd really like it and go, actually, I do want that. I'm not paying Hong Kong prices because now it's fucking through the roof. And then I go on Sideshow and it would be in stock for like less than 200. Well, it would still be up for pre-order for less than 200 quid. Shipping's like 30 quid. Then you'd probably pay another 30 odd quid tax on top. So it would end up working like my OG Mando. That worked out about 50 quid cheaper by going with Sideshow because by the time it was out in Hong Kong, everyone wanted it. So I've just gotten lazy now and I just pre-order through Sideshow because I can't be bothered. But even looking around, like today when I was looking at Cody, I looked around at some UK guys, they're all sold out. I looked at the Hong Kong guys and they were about 280 to 300 quid on eBay and they were 300 quid plus. And I was like, the annoying thing was, it was only after I bought it with Sideshow that I was like, fucking twat. I've been saying for ages I wanted a Count Dooku. Why didn't I just buy a Dooku? But I'll get one eventually. But yeah, I've got lazy now and I just order through Sideshow. because I can't be asked. And plus, you get points and stuff. Like,
yeah, if you build the points up, eventually you get it refigured, don't you? So
yeah. So like with Cody, I think I got 12 quid back straight away. So,
although they made it harder now, haven't they? Because they only last for a year or something.
A year. But to be fair, if that's half a deposit to pre-order something else.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
it ain't too bad. It's not too bad. I just can't be asked ordering through Hong Kong anymore because it's just not that secure. Like, there's nothing to say tomorrow they don't just pack up and fuck off.
No.
You know, I've learned that with that first standoff I ordered. So
you got to go with that with one of the main long-standing ones like KG or 16 Kit or something like that.
Tim's, even Tim Sent's been a bit rattled recently with they took down all the hot toys, and you think it's still only like one guy. Obviously, he's paying other people to get the stuff, but it could just all pack up, tomorrow, as you say. You're never quite sure. I've got a few bits. I've got that Mando Scout Trooper and Lando with Toys Buying Agent, and I think my Snowspeeder of Luke's with 1/6 Kit.
I'll tell you, I was quite impressed with today, and I don't normally touch them with a barge pole. It's Big Chief Studios, so I went on to see how much Cody for, because I thought just in case they've got it in stock. And they were sold out, but they were doing Cody for 220 quid.
Okay,
actually, that's pretty good. They probably charge postage on top of that, but that was still pretty good. So I might check them out. But then you go to their in stock stuff, and they wanted like 220 quid for Wicket, and I was like, "Fuck off!"
Wow.
Unreal.
Yeah, I think it's very, very unpredictable on there. But as you say, it's always worth a look, isn't it, and see if they've got something dirt cheap.
Yeah, I think Ryan says as well. At least they sort you out if you have any issues. Yeah, that's true. I mean, looking at some of the complaints you see for some of the Hong Kong guys, you're paying to ship it back, and there's sometimes.
Yeah, it's interesting actually because now you mentioned that I had that. I got the 40th anniversary Empire Vader, didn't I? And I sold it straight on to a guy in the UK. It was his first hot toy, and he was umming and ahhing. And I said, "Oh, you won't regret it." I said, "It will cost you in the long run." But when he opened it up, the light up arm was broken. The cable had snapped, and I was like, "Oh, fucking hell!" But he was really good about it, and he said, "Oh, I don't know, what should I do next?" And I said, "Well, I'll contact Tim Sent," and he reached out to Hot Toys, and they said they wouldn't replace it, or they didn't have spare bits. So he was like, "Oh, well, we accept a £30 partial refund." So yeah, it's fine. And I did eventually manage to find. I had to wait a little while, but I found one shipped out of Malaysia, and that came yesterday. So I've put that in the post. And the guy's like he's like, "Oh, you didn't have to do that." And I was like, "Yeah, but I do, because I feel bad. It's not my fault, but that figure's brand new mint, and that's what you should be getting." So
thing is, did Tim Sent give you any money back then?
Yeah, he gave me 30 quid back.
No,
so he obviously took the hit because he wasn't able to get anything out of Hot Toys, which I was a bit surprised at, to be honest.
I think that's bollocks.
Yeah,
I think that's bollocks. Yeah, if you think about how much it would cost him to ship that to you, you're talking about roughly 25, 30 or quid.
Yeah.
So I reckon he's probably gone. It's not worth the aggro. I'll just say that I can't get the, and that I'll give you 30 quid to go.
Yeah. Buy. Yeah, whatever way. And then I was like, I couldn't find one for ages, and then one popped up. So that was good. So hopefully hopefully that one will work all right. And but try and support the nice people in the community, and the ones that aren't nice can just fuck off.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, look, we just scraped 2 hours.
Yeah,
a minute off. So I think that's enough shit chat for a little while.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone who's joined us. It's been an absolute pleasure tonight.
Yep.
It's just nice to talk to other people about figures and shit, because no one in my house gives a shit when I talk about this stuff. So
no, I just get Where are you putting those boxes? Where are they going? Where are they going? I'm like, they're right
Tell
where they
what.
are, aren't they?
I'm not looking forward to next week when I have to explain that. I'm going back down to 8 to reduced hours. But yeah, Commander Cody's coming through the door.
Yeah,
And then
we're
a
on,
giant
we're
3D printer as soon
yeah,
as well.
we're on beans again this week. Yep, I like beans. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, but don't worry, I can print you whatever you want.
Like a replicator.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, she's gonna go mental. It's
Mate.
gonna turn up, and she's just gonna go.
What a cunt.
And I'll have to agree with her. I really will. But anyway, on that bombshell.
What you're selling to pay for it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, the thing is, I can show the empty cube in my display case and go, "That's what I sold."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
yeah,
cool. All right, guys. Well,
Nice one.
Yep. Cheers.
thank you, everyone, and we shall see you next time.
On the next
Indeed.
show. Bye.
See you. Bye.